like the stereotype, I guess I would call it, of like being a Black woman and always having to be so strong and so like, oh, you can handle it, oh, you this, all that. Like, we can't never have feelings or emotions, or we can't ever be known for somebody that is fragile or just beautiful. Like, we have to be all these other things besides just being a woman. Like, no, we don't want to have to be strong, but we don't have a choice, so.
We are back with another exciting episode of the High Vibrations Only podcast, a place where we're all about inspiration, motivation, elevation. We want to make you feel good, make you feel like you could take on the world, because guess what, baby? You can take on the world. Today's guest is a visual artist. She is a designer. She is a glass artist. As you know, DMV's one of DMV's most unique creative voices. Her work has been featured in magazines such as Shein, The Washingtonian, just to name a few, and galleries across the country. You know what I mean? I am excited, elated to welcome to the show Washington, D.C.'s own Simone Agoussoye. Welcome to the show.
That's how it feels. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I love the energy.
Yeah.
And as I'm, you see, I'm like in the studio.
Yeah.
So like this energy.
Yes.
I love it. I'm so.
Yes. We're in her. You know what I mean? We're here, and she's gonna be working on something while we're talking. And at the end of this episode, she's gonna show us what she's been working on. But let's go back, man. I wanted to talk to you because first, I told you how I found out about your stuff. It was so part of my responsibilities as the director of content for the American Urban Radio Networks is to spotlight artists such as yourself, Black artists. And we do this every Tuesday. It's called Art Tuesdays. And I was looking for who to spotlight on a particular week. Right. And I literally stumbled on your stuff.
Look at God.
It was the collab that you did with the Black Girl Art Show. That was the one. Wow. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, and we spotlighted you for that week. We're trying to have you on the Couch Party show, but you couldn't come on because you teach the kids on Thursdays, But then I did my due diligence and I was like, wait a minute. She actually quit her job to focus on this full time. Before we get into that, take us back to the beginning. Offline, we were talking earlier. You talked about how you come from a family of about 12?
12, yeah. Second oldest, too.
Wow.
The youngest are like 10.
Yeah.
And they're twins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely come from a very, very, very large family.
Yeah. And it was tough coming up.
Yeah. It was like, I guess just because you have to like, everything has to stretch.
Right.
So I feel like, everybody can kind of relate to, especially like in this area.
Yeah.
And,
And you never thought that you were going to go to college, you were saying?
Yeah, never. It was never a thing to go to college. Like, never thought like, oh, let me like good girl grades to go to college. Like, that was never a thing in my family. It was never a goal. It was never nothing that we talked about. It was never.
So what was the conversation like? Like, what was people saying? What were y'all saying? Like, oh, what I want to do? What was
just
that?
Something to make money, whatever. Okay. Like, just have a good job and a good trade. Yeah. It's a lot about going to a trade school would be cool, but the emphasis was never to go to like a elite college or a specialty college at that.
Yeah.
I went to art school, but it was just about
did go to art school.
Exactly, like a very specialty school.
Right.
But it was just always to like find something that you can work hard at, and make money in a trade that people will use as something that's practical.
Yeah.
And art clearly is not one of those things.
Yeah.
So even though growing up, my family always supported my art, but it was never like a push to be.
Grandma was really one of your biggest supporters.
Yeah. I think because she also is an artist and her art, even to this day, she be painting and drawing and doing all the things and showing me. Yeah. So she was a very big creative. So I remember going to my grandma's house all the time, and like she would have like different like drawing books for me to look at and practice drawing and stuff. And like my aunt, which is my grandmother's daughter, she also was very artistic. My dad has is very artistic as well. Like everybody has something artistic.
Yeah.
But so that's how it trickled down.
And since age 7, you knew that this is something you wanted to do.
Absolutely. It was like a light bulb just went off in my head.
Yeah.
Because So I don't know if you know the story, but maybe. I don't know. But I think you do. But anyway, they don't know. So
they don't know.
Exactly. So yeah, in art class, literally, I'm in the 3rd grade. Yeah. I remember this like it was like yesterday. Yeah. And I remember we had like some type of art project or whatever. And I remember I did like a self-portrait of myself. And it was done in like a not a Marilyn Monroe style, but in an Andy Warhol style. Ooh. It was of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, speaking of Warhol, that's one of your inspirations.
Exactly, because of this story right here. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I don't know why. I don't know if my art teacher showed us his work and was like, oh, y'all do y'all own thing like this or whatever. And that's just what I did. But unbeknownst to me, my art teacher had submitted that piece of work into the county fair. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Wow.
So the only time when I found out is when she came to me and was like, oh, you won 2nd place in the county fair for that art piece you did. I was like, wow. What? I won 2nd. It wasn't even 1st place. I was just surprised about the 2nd place. I was like, I won 2nd place for that. I cannot believe, oh my goodness, I'm going to be an artist when I grow up. And that's how it became. Yeah. And I never quit from there.
Yeah. But you didn't know how to really navigate the path of like being a full-time artist. So you still at some point went to college, Arizona State, if I'm not mistaken.
I did go to Arizona State as well. Yeah. But by the time I was like graduating high school, my art teacher was like, oh, you should think about going to art school, literally in the 12th grade as 2 months before graduation. I'm like, never thought about it. I have no idea. She said, well, why don't you check out the Art Institute of Washington and, do that. And I'm like, okay, why not? So I started applying for schools. I applied for Howard, Art Institute of Washington, the Corcoran's Gallery of School, College of Art and Design. Got into every school, but I decided to go with the Art Institute of Washington because it was the shortest period of time. Okay. And then, but with art, I'm like, well, how am I going to make money being an artist? Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's going to work. That don't sound practical. And I've been raised to be practical. Right. Maybe I can like combine my artistry and my creative, part of me. And I loved computers. I love computers and technology. So I was like, maybe I can combine the two and be a graphic designer. Wow. So I went to the Art Institute of Washington, but I majored in graphic design and web development. Right. But of course, because I was doing my bachelor's of fine arts, I had all these other art classes too, but that was never the focus. Even when I was in college, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much.
No. This is a podcast. That's what we do in the podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do in the podcast. We talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So even in college and like hearing like my peers or whatever talk about what they want to be when they grow up and stuff like that, or what their purpose in college is like, I want to be my own boss. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have my own graphic design studio. Yeah. That was never even I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to work for somebody. Like, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to have my own shop. Like, not at all. Like, it was never a desire of mine. I never cared to do that. And now here I am.
So what was that moment where you was like the light bulb moment or the moment that clicked and you said, you know what? I'm going to do this full time. What was there a significant event that really propelled that or?
So I would say it's like a series of events that happened with that. Like, the major one being when I got married. So when I got married, that definitely kind of like changed my vision in life, I guess. I don't know.
You got married around 25? 25?
I was 24 when I got married.
24,
yeah. Right around 24, 2015.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So.
Well, I you know what I mean? Don't mind me. Payment on my.
I remember 2020.
I remember
2015.
Right. I remember. I
remember 2015.
Yeah, 2015. What was I in 2015? I was. That was my senior year of college, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 2015. Well, because I didn't go to college like soon after high school. Oh, okay, like 3 to 4 years went by. I was just chilling.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you got married, that was when like things like my perspective of life kind of like changed, obviously, because now I'm like a whole new wife. A whole wife.
Yeah, a whole new
Mrs.
wife.
Agoussoye.
Miss Agoussoye. And moving to a whole nother city.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, even though I was born in DC, I lived in DC for a few years. I'm like, I kind of was raised like in Southern Maryland, like in the suburbs. So I moved to a whole brand new city, which wasn't even DC. Like, Baltimore City. Right, Which, anyways,
technically, we know how that go. Like, you know what I mean? Because people try to. I know what you mean.
It's not the same.
Yeah. It's not the same. But They're gonna die on that mountain.
No,
the DMV,
the
but you know,
does not include
technically,
Baltimore
real
City.
DC people know.
You feel me? Nobody's thinking about Baltimore. We be forgetting it's even in Maryland. Like,
the slangs are different. The accent is different.
The food
you know what I mean?
is different.
Right.
Like, the culture is different. Like, Baltimore City is totally different from the DMV.
Yeah.
And I've lived in both places, and I can say that professionally. I can vouch for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it was just like a lot of different changes. Mind you, it's me. I'm like 10 years into my graphic design career, making good money. You know, real steady. And I'm just like, yeah, this isn't working. Like something, I don't know. I just feel like I'm losing who I am because I'm becoming a wife. I have to do all these different things. And I don't know, it was very hard. And I remember being on the phone with my mother and she was like, well, why don't you, because even he already had his own house. So I'm like moving to this house that he already had for years. And it's just, everything was different. So my mom was like, well, why don't you find something that you can call your own? Like, find something that you can say, like, this is me, this is Simone. Yeah. You remember when you used to draw all the time and you used to paint all the time? Yeah. Why don't you get back into that? You were so good at it. Yeah. And I was like, you're right. Maybe I should, like, you know, do that. That would be nice because I haven't, you know, I might have doodled here and there and obviously been a graphic designer. Like, I'm drawing and sketching all the time, like logos and things like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. And I think I probably started like the very next day in a closet, like a little closet den in our house. And I started drawing again and painting and just testing out things that I was enjoying. I was, you know, it was really amazing time. Yeah. And then I posted it on Instagram. And then next thing you know, everybody was like, oh, can I buy that? Can I buy that?
Yeah.
Like,
but how many followers you remember around this time you had, if you recall?
Probably 500.
Okay. Oh,
like,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I wasn't, like I was just posting food pictures. I mean, I don't even think that era we was even posting food pictures at that era, but Instagram was just because it was like kind of new, but it was just to just
mainly selfies. I feel like when the first
lots of selfies and stuff. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of followers at all, at all. Like Instagram was just a thing. But yeah, a lot of people was like responding to my art, and that's when the light bulb clicked. Like literally, because I was like, you know, what's funny?
What?
The first painting that I sold that really like kind of launched this whole thing was a painting of Marilyn Monroe.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's wild.
I'm just not realizing the connection like in this moment.
Wild. Yeah.
The moment that I knew I was gonna be an artist, I was painting a Marilyn Monroe inspired painting by Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
The moment I knew I can make money being an artist and be successful.
It was also a painting. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's divine. I feel like that's divine for sure. That is fate. Yeah.
That's something. Okay. Wow. That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it was a Marilyn Monroe painting, and somebody wanted to buy it. I'm like, you can just have it. Like I just did it just for fun. Like you don't have to pay for it. Like you can have it. Like what are you talking about? But they was like, no, I have to pay for it. I have to buy it. Like I have to give you something. I'm just like, okay, well, whatever you want to give me is cool. Like what are you talking about? She sent me $100. Do you not know I was running around the house like, she gave me $100 for this mirror. Like I was like, you could have thought I won the jackpot. Like I was like, I just was so shocked and amazed that somebody sent me $100 for a painting. Like I was, and that's when I realized people are paying for art.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Like none, not even the slightest clue, which is weird, right? Because I went to art school.
Yeah.
Never knew. Even my art teachers that were praising how amazing I was, how good I was, they never, I don't remember, they probably would say they did, but I don't remember them instilling in me like, you can make a career being an artist. Like your talent can pay your bills. I never remember hearing that. And I don't know if it's because I'm a black little girl and they just, you know, that's just, you know how systems and schools are designed. I don't know why, but I just never knew that until that moment. And then it's like a whole new world opened up to me. And then here I am selling paintings for thousands and thousands
of pricing. Like, speaking of pricing, how do you navigate that? Because that's something I feel like a lot of up and coming artists struggle with, trying to figure out the right price point for their pieces. How did you deal with that?
Oh my goodness, I'm still dealing with it.
Yeah.
So pricing is like probably one of the hardest things in my opinion for managing an art career is pricing, and I still struggle with it. Like I still struggle because I'm still like, oh, should I charge $5,000 for that? Like I don't like it's hard, but how I've been able to manage it is just it's a lot. It's a whole lot. So I won't, bore you with all the ins and outs. But basically I found a formula that worked for me.
Okay.
When I first started setting my prices, I looked for artists that were like similar to me, like as far as like what's the word? Like experience. Like, if they just started painting for 2 years, I should start painting for 2 years, even though I've been painting since I was a kid, but neither here nor there. Yeah. It's like, okay, like exactly professionally for 2 years. I've been doing it for, let's just say for 2 months or a year. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so they're pricing their prices at this. Like, say I pick like maybe 5 different artists that kind of have similar style as me and same history of working. I'll kind of mimic that style of price, not even style, but the numbers, and then created a formula that would help me get to those numbers based on size. Yeah. So it's based on size, materials used, the medium, and that's how I do my prices now. And like, just increasing it every time I sell like a certain amount at a certain price point. I'm like, all right, it's time to add another 100, time to add another 500, time to add 1,000, and that's how
I'm. If you don't mind sharing, what was the biggest so far you've sold? If you don't mind sharing.
No worries. Yeah. It was, I don't know the exact number because it was just so crazy.
Ballpark.
Like $9,000. So really, I could say $10,000
for one piece.
So it was like a 3-in-1 piece. Okay. So it was like 3 of these, and they were like black, and it was black women, and it was gold throughout each piece, like kind of like a continuous thing. Wow. So I have another piece like that at this hotel in DC. Yeah. But yeah, it was at my first art solo show. Yeah. And somebody saw it and was like, they wanted to buy it. But it was so fun. So I'm like, oh, it's $9,000. Because they asked me on Instagram. Like, they didn't tell me during the event or the reception or nothing like that. I get a DM from some random person. No disrespect. Because I don't know who nobody is, really. So I get a DM, and they're like, yeah, I have a client that's interested in this piece. Right here, how much is it? I was like, oh, it's $9,000. But mind you, I'm thinking this is a scam. I'm thinking this is a nobody.
You just threw a number out.
No, that was a number. Okay. But normally, if I really knew it was a real person, and if it was in person, I would have been scared to say the 9,000. I would have been like, like 4,000.
So you think it's easier to negotiate virtually than in person? Would you say?
Absolutely, yes. And then even easier when you don't know who you're talking to. Right. It's like I had no idea who this person was, and I'm thinking they're literally a scammer. They're just asking me just to ask, or like I didn't think it was a real client at all. So I'm just like, it's $9,000. So yeah. She's like, okay, let me let my client know. I'm like, okay. Didn't think about him again. I even missed her messages for like a week. Oh, I go back and it was like, yeah. So how do you take your payment? I was like,
wow.
Zelle, or you can, pay through the website. See that next thing you know, it's a chick-ka-ching. I was like, and the whole time it was a football player, Chase Minifield from the Redskins, that saw the piece because it was in DC.
That was the client. That is crazy.
That was the client. But he wasn't the one speaking to me.
Of course, yeah. That was her client.
Yeah. She, I don't know if it was assistant client or whatever, but she was the one facilitating the transaction for him. Yeah. But he was the one that came and picked up the pieces. So I get
that was a good surprise. It was a good
amazing. Surprise. Yeah. And then he reposted it on stories. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like,
Did you cry?
No.
Okay. I didn't cry. You ain't one of them. Like,
it had to be.
I was bawling.
No, that's surprising that I didn't cry. Right. Yeah, no, I'm too gangster for that.
I was about to say, because some people like, man, I couldn't even keep I was crying the whole time.
No, I had to keep it cool. Like when he came to pick it up, I had to be
real professional. It was nice doing business.
I'll let you.
And then after that,
good luck in the playoffs. Probably talking wrong. He's like, that's basketball. It's not the playoffs. I play football.
Right.
I'm like,
you're a good shooting guard. Like what? Wait, what?
I have no clue what I'm talking about. That'd be cool. Go get him the Tiger.
Oh man.
But no, that's my highest to date.
Oh man.
And I was super excited for a single piece, since that was like more like a kind of like a stitch piece type of vibe. For a singular piece, I think $2,100. Which I feel like right now is not a lot. I'm like, that was cheap. But anyway, exactly. Now I'm like, that was
my price. What was I doing?
That was cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now we pray. It's only gonna get better though. It's only gonna get better. We're speaking this. I believe so much in the power of words, and we're speaking into existence that you will sell millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. So we're gonna speak that into existence.
Absolutely.
We're gonna circle back.
Everybody,
to this particular timestamp when it happened, but like, you know what? He did say that.
He said it. He called it, and here I am.
Gosh, you've done a lot of exhibits. You've done a lot of solo and group ones. One of the ones that really I was drawn to being African was the one, the Motherland virtual event. Talk to us about how that came together. I saw a picture of you. I'm gonna put the picture right here. Y'all, she was dressed in all African attire, bro. Like, it took us, but back in the day, dog, she was washing the joint like that. You know what I mean?
Crying.
Right. I saw that. Right. So how did Motherland joint come together?
So that was, sorry, I'm trying to find my reference photo.
No, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Yeah, she's painting as we're talking, and at the end, like I told you, she's gonna show us what she's been working on. So, yeah, you want to watch till the end of this episode to see the masterpiece that she's working on right now.
So that was during COVID, actually. That was during COVID in 2020. And, you know, I think I probably did like 2 prior art exhibitions, one in person, and then COVID happened. It's funny because my first solo exhibition I was telling you about just now, that was scheduled for like March the 8th. And that's literally the day that the city got shut down. Yeah. So I had to cancel it. Like, I cried for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was literally, my birthday was coming up.
Right.
I got furloughed. Was that a couple of weeks before my birthday? Was that what it was? Like a month or so before my birthday? Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, a couple. Yeah. So that was a tough birthday.
Yeah, exactly. It was a tough time, and that was just like the beginning of it. So as we're like deep in the whole COVID 2020 isolation, everything, just trying to find ways to connect back with people in a creative ways, obviously, because I'm a creative. And I was like, well, let's do a virtual art show or whatever. I did another one prior to the Motherland that was called Beautiful People. Yeah. Oh, no, it was called Colors. And then I was like, let's do it again. And Motherland, because obviously I represent, represent for the Togolese. Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't, and I, because I really do love the culture. Yeah. Like, I really, especially, before I even got married. Yeah.
I was about to say, how did you, get interested?
Yeah, a lot of people think it's because of my husband. No, I was already in the culture before I met him. That's how I met him.
Right.
But no, I was really, drawn to the culture, mainly because of the French speaking of it all. Yeah. And my name is French. And I wanted to learn French.
Wait, Simone is French?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The whole time I thought it was English, and I didn't know that.
Exactly, right? So I was like, I want to learn French. I turned down Howard. I got something to go to Howard for art.
You turned down Howard.
This is how you know I was
graduated from Howard.
You would have been
personal. You know what I mean?
I take it personally too. This is how.
What were you turning down?
This is what I'm telling you. I didn't know nothing about colleges.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I did not know. To this day, I'm sick about it. Because I'm like, why did I turn down Howard?
They were talking about HBCUs. You didn't even know what HBCU is.
Nobody was talking about it around me. Because again, I was not around people that was going to college because that just was not a thing that we do. So I had no clue.
That's crazy.
So I'm sick about that. But another reason why I turned down Howard because they wanted me to take French. It was like, oh, you need to take a foreign language. I'm like, what do I need to take a foreign language for? And I'm studying art. Nah, next art institute caller, next caller. And then here we go, 10 years later.
Right.
Marry a French-speaking man.
Right.
Then I'm in a French-speaking congregation. I'm in the culture of French-speaking people.
Yeah.
And I had to learn it through communication with them because I refused to go to Howard because of French.
Yeah. How can you say I turned down Howard in French? Can you say that?
Comment on dit ça? Je ne pas. Okay. Je dis no at Howard University.
Oh wow! Okay.
Je dis no. Yeah.
I don't even know what I just know. We.
Je dis no to Howard University.
Oh wow!
So I said no to Howard University.
Yeah. Wow. But look at you now speaking.
Yeah.
But you were saying you were drawn to the culture because of the French speaking aspect.
Yeah, that's what drew me to culture. So I really loved it. So with the whole, trying to think of what a creative way to bring everybody together. And obviously I have a lot of friends that's in that culture and just all over the whole Africa continent. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do an African inspired art show.
Yeah.
And I think I was doing a lot of African art and because I was traveling to Togo all the time.
What was that first visit like?
First visit.
What was the energy like?
The first visit was on my honeymoon.
Okay.
So, you know.
Okay. All right. We gonna move. Keep it pushing. Yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing. Okay, but that was the first one.
That was the first time I've been to Togo. Me and my friend, one of my best friends, was planning to go to Africa, Ghana specifically, as we was growing up. Yeah. Like we was like, yeah, we're gonna go.
Well, you always been going to. Don't nobody want to go to Nigeria. Hold on a second. Like everybody, I just spoke to one of my friends from college. She was like, I just came back from Ghana. I said, what's the occasion? I just went. I said, well, why you went? You know what? I'm not even gonna ask you about that. It's all good.
He's like, why you ain't go to Nigeria?
Right. No, but y'all wanted
to go to like when you like look up like the best place for like what is it, visitors or what's the word when people like visit different tourists. Ghana's number one. So that's why we picked Ghana. And then like I'm trying to tell you, we had a whole plan. We had a whole A to Z point B plan on going to Ghana for 3 months because we was gonna go like on a missionary assignment because we was very heavy in our religion and things like that. So it was like, yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna do some Bible work in Ghana, stay there for 3 months. And then she started dating, got married. Yeah. And I was like, I'm still going. So then I married me an African and I went.
Now you went. Now you got a mission.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Exactly. A bigger purpose.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, it's just, you know, Africa's just always been in my, I don't know what to call it.
Which is wild because you're about 40 to 60% Nigerian.
That part. That's crazy. And so that's what they say. Right. That's what they say.
You said, well, that's suspect. I don't know.
I'm like, y'all say that about everybody. Yeah, no, for real. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, if anybody do the ancestry DNA test, and then you have a little bit of color to you, they're gonna say you're from Nigeria.
Right. That's wild. We need
the biggest one.
We need a couple. Like, give me about 3 more tests just to make sure. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So, what was that energy like when you first touched down in the city, bro? Like what was that like? Like you coming from the DMV area and everything, like what was there a culture shock? Was there something you knew what to expect? Like,
no, I didn't know what to expect. Okay. And I'm the type of person, I never have expectations on anything. So I didn't go in thinking about anything. The first experience, it was really nice, especially because it was like my honeymoon and we stayed at a really nice location. And all of his family is still there. So they, you know, welcomed me with open arms. So it was very welcoming, very nice people. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. And then when I got into, like, you know, like the villages and things like that, because, you know, we was in Ghana and then we also went to Togo. It's like, it just reminded me of Baltimore City. Yeah. Like, I'm like, this is Baltimore.
Really? Wow.
Like, this is literally Baltimore City.
That's crazy.
Because obviously, you know, when I got married, moved to Baltimore City because that's where he was, where we are. And, yeah. It was giving Baltimore City. I was like, that's all this is.
Yeah. I saw a video of your little kid. Like, were y'all having a conversation in that video? He was just looking at you and looking at the camera.
Which one?
It was a video that you was sitting right next to a little kid and he looked at you and
yeah. And that baby is so cute. So that's actually like my my nephew, my little nephew. Okay. That's his son. That is his brother's son.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So that's my nephew. He is so cute. So yeah, I was sitting in front of the tailor actually, or maybe the braid shop, but they're right next to each other. So I think I just got my hair braided and I was getting some clothes made. The clothes I was wearing for the Motherland show. Yeah. And he was just like looking at me. He wasn't talking because he was a baby. He's like probably like 1. Yeah. But he was just like looking at me and I was just looking at him. Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah. So the Motherland show, like you guys did it, the first one was there in Togo?
No, it was virtual. I was back here. Okay. The thing is I had performances and acts and artists from all over the world. I had people from Burkina Faso that was on, that did like some dancing. Like it was amazing. Like it was amazing. I wonder how many different countries participated in that show. But no, it was completely virtual, and I was here because I don't think we was able to really travel that much. Even though I did travel to Togo when we was in COVID, that was rough. But no, we was here. Yeah. I was in my basement studio that my husband had just renovated for me so that I could, you know,
do your thing.
Exactly, which was amazing. It's like so beautiful. It's like this, but way better, and it's like probably the same size too. Yeah. It's like the whole basement. Well, not the whole basement, but anyways. Yeah. So yeah, just being inspired from all my visits to Togo. And like I was saying, I was collecting like material and clothes and fabrics, and I was making a lot of art with fabric and just very like African inspired art pieces. So I was like, let's have this Motherland show and this feature everybody that's from the diaspora, and that's how it kind of came about. And it went kind of crazy.
That's dope. Another one that stood out for me was I think that was like a group joint that you guys did. And that was Shirley Chisholm, the whole joint.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Bree Pippins, she was a part of that. Bree was supposed to be on those pod, but she told me she was going out of the country for something. But did they reach out to you about?
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah. So, you know what's funny? Right. Look, I'm always what's
everything
funny.
I'm gonna say.
You know what's funny? What's funny is how I got connected to that was through the Black Girl Art Show.
Oh, wow. And that's how we ended up here, right?
Because of the Black Girl Art Show.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So the creator Joshua that created the Black Girl Art Show, I guess they reached out to him, was like, and said whatever. I don't know the story, but whatever the case was, he called me and was like, "Hey, I got this opportunity that just called me. They're looking for 2 artists in DC that can paint, and I thought of you to do this Cheryl Chisholm piece. And do you want to be a part of it? And they needed like tomorrow." And I was like, absolutely. Yeah. And that's how it all came out.
24 hours, you did that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I did it really, really fast because it was like such a quick turnaround. But then what was supposed to be just like a small thing, because it was just like they was doing like the viewing, the preview or the screening of the movie in each city or whatever. So it was just for the screening that was in DC. Yeah. And it was really amazing, a great like exhibition. And then they loved it so much, they was like, you know what? Let's invite all of them to LA for the grand premiere.
Well, got flew in.
Never been to LA. Never been to LA. Wow. Never been to LA. Yeah. And the first time I'm going to LA, I'm getting flown out. Yeah. Stayed at a bomb hotel at the penthouse.
Yeah, yes sir.
I was like, let's go. Who am I? Like, never could fog. Like, I was just being all. It don't even get me started on like the movie. The movie was amazing. Yeah. So that whole experience was great.
Yeah. Oh man.
So great. So
listen, we're gonna cheers to that. We're gonna cheers to that. To all the success thus far. Here's some more success on the way. So we're going to we're not done. We're just you know what I'm saying?
Just getting started.
You know what I mean? This is good stuff. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Oh man. It's something you posted. Really not something you posted. When I was doing my, doing
my due diligence. Yeah.
And I came across this quote, and I was like, man, I wonder if she can unpack that.
I'm excited to hear it.
It says, my work tells not only my story, but many Black women. I hope to translate our perspective for the masses while helping those who identify find comfort, validation, solace, and visibility in my art. I hope my work encourages viewers to stop and think, to consider and appreciate that which they find beautiful and perhaps which they do not.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. You wrote that.
I know. That's good. Because when you hear somebody else say it, like, I agree with that. That's what I was like, yeah, you wrote it.
I was cooking with that.
That was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like so like.
So what is the story that, when you say my work tells not only my story, but that of many Black, what do you, because I remember reading something that you posted a while back, you had taken a break because life happens. And you used a phrase that stood out for me. It was, painting our pain. You know what I mean? So I wonder if what do you mean by that when you talk about artists painting their pain and then that story that you hope that your work tells?
Yeah. So, and I feel like a lot of artists do that, but then you have a lot of artists that paint their joy, which is I love too.
Right.
But like sometimes it's hard to even articulate what it is that the pain that you're experiencing. Like you don't even know how to articulate it. So that's why I just paint. So I couldn't even tell you like what I was going through. Like, I don't know what I was going through. And I might still be going through it. I don't know.
Right.
But that's how like it translates on the canvas. And then too, just like the stereotype, I guess I would call it, of like being a Black woman and always having to be so strong and so like, oh, you can handle it. Oh, you this, all that. Like, and we can't never have feelings or emotions, or we can't ever be known for somebody that is fragile or just beautiful. Like we have to be all these other things besides just being a woman.
So what are your thoughts on the phrase strong Black woman? How do you feel about that?
I have mixed emotions. Like, of course, yeah, it's cool and all that stuff, but I just feel like that's not our headline.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that to be the headline. Who wants to be having to be so strong? Like, no, we don't want to have to be strong, but we don't have a choice. So it's definitely like one of those, like, yeah, thank you. But it's like, no.
Yeah.
I bleed just like my counterparts.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. Because I think sometimes, there's a downside to that, even within the medical field, how sometimes Black women are not taken seriously because, Yeah,
and that's another thing, especially with pregnancy. And that's like a series that I was working on because I had like a lot of friends and family that, were having babies. Because a lot of the people I paint are like my family or friends and things like that, or me. So, yeah, like you say you're hurting or you feel a pain or something. They're like, oh, no, you're fine. It's cool. Yeah. But let it be somebody else that say it, and you're bringing the whole caviar. But what I said is just like, you just get brushed off to the side, and that's you're suffering with some internal bleeding because nobody took you serious, and that happens so often. Like the rates on that is sad. So I don't like it because that's all the things that you're strong, you can handle it.
Yeah, and you hope to tell that story through your art and through the
stuff.
Yes,
tell that story, but not even really much telling the story, but more so trying to create a new story, a new headline that we are women. We feel too. We are fragile. We are beautiful. That's why I work with broken glass and paint such beautiful paintings of women because Black women in particular. Sorry, I love you, Marilyn Monroe, but I have to stop painting you because my people need representation that we are beautiful. We are women. It's not always about being strong.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's so powerful, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. You kicked off a series called The Wealthy Artist.
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah. What's the whole idea behind that? Like,
the whole idea behind it?
Yeah.
To be wealthy.
Duh, yeah.
To be a wealthy artist. Yeah. And not just like with money either, too. Just like with being happy. Like the whole stereotype with artists, the starving artist.
I was about to say,
I'm trying to recreate that whole headline as well. Like I don't want the starving artist to be the main thing that people connect to artists. Like the wealthy artist. Yeah. And that's not. And I don't know why people shy away from being wealthy and to having money. Like they make it seem like being like a starving artist and being so poor and like scraping for dimes and nickels is so honorable. I don't know why they glorify.
Struggle is always people feel like it's a.
I don't understand
it's a beautiful thing.
I don't understand
people brag on that.
And you know what helped me change my perspective on it? Because I used to feel like.
You used to feel that way?
Yeah, I used to feel like, I can't make too much money. And I think that trickles to my pricing, like why it's so hard for me to price stuff. Because I'm just like, that's too much. Like, no, I don't want to charge that much. Like.
Do you think it was because you didn't feel like your work was worth it?
No.
Or you just felt like you were good enough?
Exactly. I felt like I wasn't worth it, not the work. Because my work can stand next to somebody else's that make $10,000 from the same piece. And I could, So it's never the work. It was more so like I didn't feel like I was worth it or whatever. So, and then too, like with my religious background, for some reason, you know how they like, you're taught to be humble and all that. But one thing that helped me to kind of like change my perspective on making money is someone in my congregation that was like, some of the people in the Bible, they like the richest people that ever lived.
Yeah, Solomon was balling.
He was the richest person that ever lived to this day. Yeah. There's nobody richer than Solomon even to this day.
Yeah.
Like King David, like all the people in the Bible, they had money. So this whole struggle and stuff, like, you gotta, it's just like about being humble, but still knowing your worth. And it's okay to be paid, especially if God gave you this talent to create at this level, why shouldn't you be able to live off of it? Yeah. Because it's not about being rich. Yeah. It's about supporting yourself.
Yeah, I think it was it the Joker that he was saying, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Yeah. See? And it's hard because I feel like we're not really taught that. If you're good at something, be good at it and be humble and be thankful that you have those gifts. Like, don't try to. And then too, people make it seem like when you put a price tag on your gifts, then you're tainting it. Like it's like, I don't want to taint it. I don't want to commercialize it. But it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Okay.
So when you what would you say to someone who is thinking of going full time, just like yourself? What are some things that you would say they need to keep in mind that you had to think about?
Yeah. Prepare yourself to be very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable doing things that you probably are not going to want to do. As far as like, sometimes I just have to like, as far as like pricing and stuff, I just have to say a number, even if that's not the number I want to say. Yeah. Because of whatever things I'm trying to overcome, I just say it, even if you're scared. And do it, even if you're scared. Sometimes it's like, oh, what if I don't this and what if I don't that? It's just got to do it and do it scared. Because if you never do it, you'll never know what you're capable of. Yeah. And just give yourself like a year or something. Like maybe you don't do it forever. You just give it a try and see how it goes. But the thing is, once you give it a year, you're never going to want to go back, really. And especially if you're putting your all in it, that's the thing. You have to put your all in it and you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're not. You only are as great as you believe you are to be. So if you don't think you're great and you can do it, you probably won't. But if you think you can do it, you can. And that's what the whole wealthy artist is. Like, I had a goal to make $100,000 in 1 year. It's a crazy goal. I haven't even made close to that in my art career.
It's coming. It's coming.
But I know it's possible and it will happen. So you got to believe it in order to achieve it.
And I feel like community plays an important role in that too, because I was going to say even how you were able to navigate things like the business side of things. Yeah. You know? Because
that part too.
Yeah, that was something. The community played a role in that, or was that? Would you say art school helping you figure that out, the business side of things?
No, absolutely not.
How'd you figure that out?
I had to just figure it out on my own because that's where the whole starving artist comes into play. Yeah. If you don't have a business mindset when it comes to artistry, then you will become a starving artist, and it's hard to do that. When you're such a creative and you want to just create and stuff, you have to make time to look at your books, look how much you're selling stuff, look at how much you're spending on materials versus how much you're selling stuff for. You got to keep an inventory. You got to keep, like, the business side is so important. And I don't know why I was, like, really focused on the business side when I first started off doing art. Yeah. But I guess because I knew I needed it to make money for me. So I guess it just kind of naturally happened. But no, I don't really, I mean, maybe it does subconsciously, but I can't really recall anything from college that prepared me for this. Because again, when I was in college, I wasn't preparing to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. So it was never the goal to have to think on this business side of things because it was never a goal.
Are you ever scared that,
Scared what?
Are you ever scared that what if one day stuff stops to move as it's moving right now? Does that ever occur to you? Are you ever afraid of?
No, because I feel like the reality to that is that it's up and down all the time. So it's always like ebbs and flows with your business. Sometimes you're like, super hot and everybody's on you selling out stuff. And then sometimes it's like, where's everybody at? Mm-hmm. Where y'all go? Like, and like stuff like what's going on right now with the government and all this stuff, things getting closed and inflation and just a shutdown, like stuff affects me as well. So like, I'm not scared of it. Just got to be prepared. I think
how does Simone push herself through the dark times when she doesn't feel like painting?
That's a good question. I don't.
Shout out to my little brother for that question.
Hey, that's a good one. Yeah. No, if I'm like in a dark place, and what's also crazy, and I haven't even talked about this yet. Like I'm planning on one day like talking about this because it's something that I just learned recently myself, and I'm still trying to understand what that is. But I was diagnosed with manic depression. The first time I ever people that are close to me probably don't even know that.
Because there's depression, but now manic. Like, what's the?
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm like, are you sure you said manic or did you say massive?
Right.
Maybe he said massive.
Right, because depression by itself is a lot.
I know it was manic to it. That's what I'm saying. I'm like. But basically, it's just a very severe level of depression. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't believe it. But I remember when I was sitting in the doctor's office, and mind you, my primary doctor was like, I think you need to go see a psychiatrist. And I'm like, for what? Like, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. But I guess whatever I was saying maybe triggered. I don't know what it was. So I met with the psychiatrist, and, we're going through the questions, asking questions, And at the end, he says that. And I'm just like, I just started busting out crying. Like, literally, as soon as he said the words, I just started bawling, crying. Because I'm just like, what? Yeah. What are you talking about? But, you know, now that I'm like trying to understand it more and I'm aware of it, I realize like, oh, that's why I was, you know, doing this and doing that. And I can see how I was. And then also, like you said, what do you do when days you don't want to get out of bed? I don't. What do you do when you're in like a dark moment in your life? I stay in that dark moment. I don't push myself in those moments unless I feel inspired to. And a lot of times I do work through the pain because I'm inspired to, but other times I don't force it ever. Like I just have to be feeling to express whatever the emotion is that I'm feeling or don't even understand that I'm feeling. Yeah. But everything I do is definitely by inspiration. Yeah. Even I should start to force myself more because as a business, it has to keep running. You can't just sleep in your bed for 2 weeks, which I did at one point and didn't realize why I was doing it. I'm just like, I can't get up today. Yeah. So, yeah.
And how does faith help you navigate that? Because that's a huge thing for you too.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And just knowing like there's better days ahead too. Sometimes I feel like when we don't have hope for a brighter future, it will definitely like keep you down. And then too, because like I said, I was like really heavy in Bible work. I would like preach a lot and like teach the Bible and help other people understand God and like the things that the Bible really teaches. And when you start helping with other people and their problems, it helps you to kind of like forget about your own. Yeah. But then when you stop doing that, then you're back in you know, your own problems. And I think it was a time where I kind of like stopped doing everything completely. And I just was like not doing nothing. Yeah. And that's what's the hardest for me. So, but again, faith will help you to stay grounded, have that focus for a better future and to help others, which makes you happy, you know. Yeah. It's more happiness in giving than receiving, which is really true.
Yeah, it's more blessed to give than to receive. If you were to talk to your 7-year-old self right now, you know, with all the dreams that you had, what would you say to 7-year-old Simone?
I know, it's a good question. Because there's so many things I want to tell her because she did not know nothing. Yeah. And it's just so crazy how hindsight is 20/20. Yeah. So annoying. But I would tell her that she is amazing and you're worth it. Yeah. And you can make a lot of money doing what you love and what you're good at doing. You don't have to try to figure out something else. Like this is plan A and it could work for you. So believe in yourself, trust in your artistry, and focus. Yeah. That's what I would tell her. Yeah. And I would probably tell her to go like do more research and look at people that look like you that are doing it. And I think that's another thing that kind of prevented me from like pursuing an artistic career in that way when I was, you know, coming up because I never knew about any Black women that was an amazing artist. Women in general, it's like what, 13% of women in the artist canon already?
I'm a huge fan of Frida though.
I know, but she's not Black.
Did you see the movie?
No, I didn't know it was a movie.
There's a movie with Salma Hayek played the lead role.
You're lying. No, I never knew there was a Frida movie.
It was. It was a whole thing right around Harvey Weinstein because he produced.
Really?
And he, you know.
Now I'm about to look for it.
There was a huge story behind that because he was she wanted to tell the story like authentically, but he wanted her to do some other stuff because, you know, and she had to make it was a huge fight.
Really?
So it's just even the story behind the movie itself. It's fascinating what she had to
believe it. I know
to bring that to the screen. I think it was nominated for an Oscar if I'm not mistaken.
I gotta watch it because I do love her. She's definitely one of my inspirations for sure because she was an amazing artist and her story is really good. So I need to see that movie.
Yeah. So
was she able to keep it true to who she was or she had to?
Well, she did, but she had to compromise because of Harvey. Like there was a scene that was in the movie that was just unnecessary. And he wanted her to have, because the guy had some issues.
Makes sense.
He had some issues and he forced her to, so it was a compromise she had to make. It was all the stuff because he owned the rights to it. And at one point he was like, he's not doing it anymore. So she had to, and contractually, the only way to move forward was she had to raise whatever, because he just said he wasn't going to fund it. Dang. So the only way to move, she had to look for the money, find, it was a whole lot.
It sounds
and the
like
fight that she had to put up to make that happen, you know.
I gotta go watch it.
Now, but to your point, and one black woman that you could look up to.
Yeah, because it was barely any women in general.
Yeah,
like we can name Frida and who else?
That's true.
Who else is counted amongst the Grace?
Yeah,
Picasso, Andy Warhol, Basquiat, Frida.
Yeah.
So who else? Yeah. But now that I'm like older and I have been doing the research because the little girls Simone 7 years didn't know nothing. Yeah, we gotta find our own history because they would not teach you that in school. They make it a point not to show you somebody that looked like you that was doing amazing. Yeah, it's all designed that way to suppress us. But anyways, but now I can name like several, like Elizabeth Khaled. We got Amy Sherrill doing her big one, painting the first lady. Yeah. So now you can see a lot of women of color are like getting the recognition in their history, their stories being told to little kids, especially me being a teacher and teaching little kids.
How's that going, by the way?
Amazing.
What made you say, listen, I want to, was it just your desire to give back?
What's also...
What's funny?
You know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? Why do I say that all the time? That's like, I need to get a shirt that says, do you know what's funny? Oh my goodness. But when, like growing up and stuff and like knowing that I wanted to be an artist, I wanted to be an art teacher. I was like, I want to be an art teacher. Like it was never, I want to be an artist. I want to be an art teacher. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like because my art teachers were so inspirational in my life and my career and like the choices I made going to college was because of my art teacher. Yeah. So the fact that I'm able to do this now, be an art teacher, it came to me. I didn't like look for it, even though it was something I always wanted to do and be. It was on my bucket list of what I want to be when I grow up. And it kind of came about because I went to an art exhibition in DC and it was amazing. Beautiful show. The artist was Stina Alea. I don't know if you know her.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, she's from another city. But I went to go check her out because she's not from here. So I was like, oh, she's in DC doing an art show. Like, this is amazing. She's big. Yeah. Her work is amazing. She primarily works in oil paints. Beautiful work. Her work is beautiful, like very realism, portraits, all that stuff. So went to her show and it was amazing. Then I ended up connecting with the art director for the space, the gallery space. And then she was like, oh, well, since you're based in DC, we're actually looking for an art instructor. Would you be interested in it? And I was like, sure, why not? Yeah. So I started being an art instructor for the ARC in DC, Southeast. And it was more so like an after school program for kids who like loved art, because who's gonna go?
You're right.
So that happened, and then from there, I got connected with Washington School for Girls, and then became an art teacher with them, teaching 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders.
That's dope.
I know, it's so amazing. I love working with little kids because I can be to them what I didn't
have.
What I didn't have. So teaching them all about amazing Black female artists, male artists, artists from the DC period, and how much money you can make from being an artist. Because they be so shocked. Like, what? You can do that? Yeah. Because nobody's ever like telling kids like, oh, you should be an artist when you grow up. Like that's never really. Yeah. But now it's like you can make it a reality and you can see it too. So it's been really rewarding.
Wow. So this is still every Thursday?
Every Thursday, yeah. Every Thursday.
What's one thing that when you were starting out that you wished that you knew, that you know now?
That I can make money being an artist?
Yeah.
Besides that?
Yeah.
Because that's like the thing, like I did not know. Yeah. That's really the only thing I feel like. Yeah. So the question is, what's
one thing that when you were starting out that you know now that you wish you knew back then?
When I started actually making art my career? My worth. I wish I would have known my worth more so when I first started out. Yeah. Because, who says just because you just starting something that you gotta charge $50 for it? My paintings used to be $50.
Really?
$50.
Didn't matter what the size was.
I was kind of painting only one side at the time.
Okay.
But a decent size.
One size fits all, baby. Like
a 16 by 20. 16 by 20 is a good size.
That's all you get.
$50. $50 going once, going twice. So, knowing, I wish I would have known my worth then, and I would have probably started out the gate with, numbers that matched it.
How do you feel right now? Like, This is your first official residency?
I know it is. I guess I haven't been an artist in residence anywhere else.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Yeah.
Or that they made it a big deal.
How does that feel though?
It feels it's an honor to be completely like transparent. Like the first thing that comes to my mind is just like how honored I feel to have this opportunity and to be able to be their first artist in residence. Because they're like Fresh is a restaurant that is very supportive of the arts, like in general. And even like the owners of the restaurant.
How'd y'all link up? How'd that come together?
So one of my very close friends, another one of my best friends, she was best friends with one of the owner's wife. So they've been best friends since like college. And she married a very talented chef who opened a restaurant. Oh, it has several restaurants open, and this is one of them. And I actually went to one of their events. The wife, she does like a lot of health and wellness activities and like, what do you call it when you like get a group of people and y'all go somewhere? You know what I'm talking about?
It's
like
a
retreat,
but it's retreat. They retreat, yeah.
She does a lot of wellness retreats. So in partnership of one of her retreats, she was doing like a golfing day or whatever. So I was invited to go to the golfing.
You golf? You can golf? They got a little team.
Yeah, I learned all the terminology. Let me know before the paint starts flying. But yes, it was really amazing, Deanna. And and her husband was there. He was like talking about the restaurant, and you know, obviously the husband helped sponsor her event, and then they had an event just recently at the restaurant for another thing. I was like, oh, well, we should talk, and that's kind of how like the connection happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How long the residence gonna be for?
That's a good question. I don't even think they put a time on it.
Oh wow.
So.
Okay.
I guess we'll see. But as part as the residency, I will be doing a lot of like programming around creativity, obviously, with this being December the 4th being like the first what is it? The celebration of the residency with a art exhibition that I have. So replaced a lot of their pieces in the restaurant with my original art pieces is on the wall at Fresh in this restaurant. Yeah. Which is huge. Right. Like so I'm just sometimes I don't even believe it. Like when the art was on the wall, I'm like, this is crazy. Like hundreds of people will come in this restaurant to eat and then see my art on the wall. It's crazy. And then I'm doing like some paint and sip nights, workshops, like artist talk, like all things creative and artistic will be happening at the restaurant.
You got some wearable art too. I
do. The Motherland. The Motherland drip shirt, which is also in my signature style because I do a lot of glass art, and I did a painting of Africa in broken glass, but it's finely crushed, black on white background. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I wish I had one in here.
So you manually crush these things?
Yeah, I do a combination of both.
How long, on average, does a piece like that take?
A very long time. Yeah. A very long time. And it also depends on my like inspiration level as well too. Because there's a lot of work like in the beginning, and I think too because like you know trying to release rage or whatever. It's like what can I do to create like a destructive painting and da 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 da.
Release rage.
Right, exactly.
What rage were you trying?
I don't know. I don't know, but instead of do something
right.
Just go break some glass. So I'll be outside 3:00 in the morning in the rain with random glassware and china and all whatever that I would get from like the thrift stores and stuff because I would collect like different like antiques and stuff. I have a huge I'm the second oldest of 12 kids, but my dad is one of 11. Okay. So I have lots of cousins, lots of cousins. Big family. And I grew up with my cousins and stuff. So yeah, we're really close. And that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes when I'm like doing an event or a party event, it'd be so many people there because half of these people are my family. I was about to say. Like I had an event with Dooney at the Vice Board. It was so many people. Like I had a bunch of people there.
How Thanksgiving at your house, bro? Like how
that part, right? Golly.
When was the last Thanksgiving that this past one that y'all
come together? We don't even do Thanksgiving.
Wait, you guys, what do you mean you don't do Thanksgiving?
We don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Like you don't?
No, my family, my whole huge big family.
Why
we don't celebrate. Religion.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't
I respect
celebrate,
that.
but mainly because like the Bible, when the Bible like stuff and like where Thanksgiving, the origins of Thanksgiving and where it came from. Like no, even if it wasn't my religion, I don't think I would celebrate Thanksgiving, knowing what I know of how it came about. Like I could do it.
That's deep.
And I know a lot of people do it just because it's like a day to be off, a day to be thankful for your family. But when you look at the origin of how Thanksgiving even came into play, especially as a person of color, it's just like, nah, y'all can have it. And especially like 4th of July, same thing. Like, why am I celebrating?
Yeah, in 1776, that was 89 years before slavery was officially abolished.
It's just too much.
So when you say we hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and you had slaves in the backyard when you were, so you certainly was not talking about.
You feel me?
You know what I mean?
So yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Like I think about even just America as a whole, bro. That's why I'm so big when we're talking on the phone. I'm so big on Black people as a collective, on a global scale, because I think that it's important to understand that long before there was ever such a place called the United States, Black people existed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And hypothetically speaking, if America ceases to exist, Black people will still be here.
That part.
You know what I mean? So it's important to understand that Blackness, don't limit your definition of Blackness to just America. It's crazy because I was thinking like, you do realize that 3/4 of a human is what Black people were called. They weren't even looked upon as. In the Dred Scott case, the court essentially said he's property and property cannot sue. You know what I mean? You couldn't vote. It's
preach.
It's crazy. And that's why I've always said that, bro. Like at the end of the day, I don't mean to sound that way, but get what you can out of America.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why Nigerians are like the richest people in Africa, probably in the world. I ain't gonna hold you. But Nigerians are like the most successful people.
Right.
Because I think of what you just said. Like they know how to make things work for themselves, because at the end of the day, nobody else is gonna do it for you. You have to do it yourself. And like me being born here and all this stuff, it's like I don't even know half of the resources available to me.
Yeah.
But somebody from somewhere else would know everything. And then you know how, like, I don't know if you know how I think we were talking about a little bit, but we didn't really talk too much about like how sometimes like Black people be mad at like Black people be mad at Africans, Africans be mad at Black people. Yeah. But I know sometimes a lot of Black people that I've talked to, we're all Black, but anyways, Black American people will be like, oh, they come and they take all the jobs and do all this and da-da-da. That's because they did all the hard work and the research and the degrees and stuff, and y'all are not doing it. They tapped into all the resources and all the things that were available. Y'all didn't. Yeah. Because you didn't take the time to research it. But they did.
Again, you got to think about it like this.
Yes,
Black people, this is a country that was built on the back of African slaves and the descendants.
Yeah.
Africans just got here.
You feel me? They did just get here.
You know what I mean? So I never understood, like, why are you mad at people that just got here? Bro, you've been here. If we talk about, groups of Black people in America, Black Americans been here longer than anybody else. So my thing is, if anybody should be getting it, if anybody should be leading the way, it should be you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always feel like this too, like, that's why I never got us like, yo, you mad at, and at the end of the day, I always say this to people, like, there is no other race of people that fight and bicker the way that Black people do.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was so intentional.
Is it because we mad?
I feel like...
Bitter?
I think what it is it's in the way that we were conditioned.
Yeah, like
I think it was an intentional conditioning. Because even within the continent, one of the things I was finding out in my research, because I just like to read about, a lot of these things I didn't even learn until I got to Howard. I had a class called Black Philosophy and Ritual. And my professor, Dr. Woods, like, he'll just take you down history lane. Even within the continent, you find that wherever the white man went, where there was Black people, one of the things he did was to create division. So, for instance, a lot of us remember the movie Hotel Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
So, what they did, that they separated those ethnicities, empowered one over the other.
And it was all behind the scenes.
You know what I'm saying? So, when they left, the whole thing blew up in the face of the people because you had the civil wars. The other people were like, well, you know, the white people gave us, they empowered us. That was like, nah, we've been here with you guys from the very beginning.
Right.
The same thing happened here in America. You had the house Negro versus the field Negro dichotomy.
Right.
So the house Negro says, if the master is sick, he said, master, is we sick? You know, the house Negro had hate for the field Negro without even realizing they're victims of the same thing. You see what I'm saying? So it was an intentional strategy that white people used to keep black people divided, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. You know, if we're busy going back and forth,
we can't.
You know, you got Africans beefing with African Americans, African Americans beefing with Caribbeans, and if we doing all of that, you're not gonna be able to put a united front against anything. You get what I'm saying?
We are distracted about something stupid.
I said
they're pretty good.
If you read history, one of the richest men Americans that ever lived, a man by the name of Andrew Carnegie.
Really?
Of Scottish descent. He was in charge of like the steel industry back in the day.
Yeah, he sounds familiar.
Right. Like you probably heard the Carnegie Hall Library, like all of that was him. You know what I'm saying? And this is a guy.
He was black?
No, white man.
Okay.
Scottish.
Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I say to people all the time, racism was never a national thing. It's a global thing. It was always a global thing. And people forget that America was once a British colony. The original 13 colonies were all British colonies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always say that
the United States
was the original 13 colonies.
And that now is what, 12 colonies?
Well, now they're 50. Well, they're 52. They're 50, like 50 states. But I'm saying originally in 1776, when America gained its independence, there were 13 colonies. Those 13 colonies were British colonies that became America.
Okay.
After they gained independence in 1776. So, and then, of course, a lot of expansion happened. A lot of places, like, you know, some of us remember the Louisiana Purchase that happened.
Right.
Texas at one point in time was a Mexican region as well. So, you know, that was also, so many things. And, you know, you grew and expanded, but the original 13 colonies were British colonies. The founding fathers, most of them, they're all British people, right?
Yeah,
so, my point is, it was always designed, you know, for white folk. Like if you look at racism, so that's why a white person can come to this country from anywhere in the world and rise to wherever level that he wants to rise to, because at the end of the day, white people don't think the way that black people think.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? With black people, instead of coming together, what we do is, oh man, what set you rep?
Yeah.
Like what you know what I'm saying? Like instead of how can we come together and work together, what we're talking about is he ain't even like what? Man, he from Chicago. I don't even like people from Chicago like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that we can't, you know, it's okay to have your little, but when it comes down to getting along and building resources, we're so busy on Twitter. We're so busy on Twitter being condescending to each other. And I'm asking, even all of these groups of black people that the little subsets within the black community they have right now, you got the different groups, the FBAs, the ADOSs, and all this stuff. And I go, bruh, like, how is that helping reduce mass incarceration of black men in this country? How are you helping reduce poverty in black communities?
And not.
Y'all on social media going back and forth, being condescending towards each other. Like, you bet. I'm sitting there going, yo, in the eyes of the world, you got black and white. Now, we can have all of these other groups within the thing, but here's the thing we understand. The beauty of the black race is in our diversity. So instead of letting that diversity become a source of division, it's something we should celebrate. Like I'm saying that like, yo, are we so different that you can't sit at a table with a Caribbean and have a conversation? Are we really so different? Or is that just something we're telling ourselves?
Something that we're telling ourselves.
Meanwhile, we're doing that on Twitter whole time. Last time I checked, unemployment in the black community, when anything hits, who gets his heart?
The black.
And I'm thinking to myself from a socio-economic, social-political, social-cultural standpoint, if we can all work together, just imagine the amount of wealth that we can build. Like the strength of black is in the unit. Look at what happened with Target. Black Panther Black people did that.
What they do?
It was black people that went to see that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That made it as big as it is.
Yeah.
Black people did that.
We do. We're like their target.
You get what I'm saying?
Because we're the money.
Black people have the highest purchasing power of any group of people in this country. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I've been looking from a business standpoint like, man, you know what we could be doing if we just let all this petty stuff out the way?
Right.
And just really get together?
Yeah.
Like, that's everything I do. That's how I'm thinking, bro. Like, wherever I go, I mean, I'll be in America tomorrow, or whether I'm in Japan, wherever I find myself, I'm always going to look for where the black people in those places, and how can we work together? What are your issues, and how can we create a better situation for you? And that's how I'm thinking. Like, with everything that I do is from a global standpoint.
I love that.
Because it breaks my heart just knowing what's been done to black people.
Is that?
It breaks my heart. Like, it breaks my heart. Like, I was reading about the youngest person that was executed. Little boy was he couldn't even reach the thing. They had to put him on it's a picture. Like, he was they had to put books on the thing, on the chair for him to sit on it, just so they can exit. That's how little he was. Yeah, he was, I don't think he was up to, I got to look that up. The youngest black person that was ever executed. There's a picture there. And he looked
really young though.
Huh?
But he looks like really young.
Really young.
That
He couldn't even reach, you know what I mean? And you think about what's been done to black people in this country, all over the world, bro. Like, I am just saying, it doesn't make sense that now we've become architects of our own annihilation, developers of our own demise. We're now the ones who are planting seeds of discord and stoking the flames of division. You know, we're not the ones fighting ourselves, as opposed to working together. And while you're busy doing that, the other races, look at the Asians. Look how they move. Look at the Hispanics. Look how they move.
Hispanics?
Look how they move.
They were together, honey.
Look at the Ethiopians in D.C.
Oh, they taking over.
Bro.
They own everything out there
now. Look how they move.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like her last name. I don't know what that's about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She act like she better than everybody. I don't even know what that's about. And
it's the generational cycle that we need to break.
Yeah.
Because y'all was taught that, and that you keep passing it on and on and on, and it's just never gonna go away. Like, we need a new generation to come in and stop that, so that we can come together. Like,
absolutely. Because
that's a lot of work too.
When you think about it, like it go like this. Like, on one end, you know, I always talk about, and I say this all the time, every other race of people in this country came here willingly. With the exception of Black Americans. Black Americans, the majority.
Yeah.
The majority, now, because we know there were some Black people here before, but the majority were forced here as slaves. Every other group of people, your Italians, your Portuguese, everybody came here. That's why they can always trace their joint back to, like in Italy, they call it the old country. You can always trace your lineage back. And it was a big thing. Like, but Black people, the only group of people that were severed from their identity, culture, and everything. So you have that, right? So you have that. Okay, even if I wanted to reconnect, where do I even start?
Yeah.
So why Garveyism was a very noble thing. Like, shout out to Marcus Garvey. The issue, a challenge I have with Garveyism is, how do you tell a people who are 16, 17, 18 generations removed, over 400 years removed, how can they begin the process of reconnecting? You can't just say, go back to Africa. Where are you going to go?
I know. You know exactly.
So
never even been there.
You know what I mean? There was that. And then there was also the question of the narratives that were created and propagated about the continent. So number one, I don't even know how to reconnect. Number two, with the type of stories I'm hearing about that place, I'm good. So these are the types of things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That gets in the way until you touch down in Togo. You're like, dog.
Yeah.
This is Baltimore City. Y'all tweaking. You
know
what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And now you have a new perception. I always say the power of what we do as filmmakers, as creatives. What Black Panther as a movie, one movie by itself did in that year. A lot of people were going to the continent. Because I was like, imagine if this was like a genre. Like, if we made this a whole thing. If there were more stories on a massive scale that corrected these wrong narratives. You see what I'm saying? Imagine what that would do to relationships, interactions, and us building together and all. I'm just thinking like, bro, like, I look at other races, people, how they move and support and grow. I say this all the time. Everywhere you go in the world, where there's Black people, they're at the bottom.
Everywhere. You're right.
I said even in Africa, I don't even think we control the stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't.
Like it's that. And it's like, when are we gonna realize that all of this back and forth and this pettiness, bro, it's not moving anything forward for anyone. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what they want to happen. We're just giving them what they want.
Right.
Like puppets. Doing exactly what they planned for us to do.
I asked someone a question. I said, you think if Elon Musk was a black man from South Africa, you think he would have been able to rise to the level that he is right now?
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
But it's one of those things, man, that I feel like I always say, America was never built with black people in mind.
Nope.
America was never built with black people in mind.
That's a good line. Right
yeah,
there.
you know, this is why you fight for, like, even in 2024, 2025, affirmative action was done away with. You know, affirmative action was done away with. And I'm saying you had certain progress that was made. DEI is under attack.
Yeah, I know.
And
Trump.
I'm saying
he's like, get rid of it everywhere.
The generation in the 60s had less resources than this generation, but they accomplished more.
Is it because you think it's because we this generation is lazy?
I feel like that generation understood the power of unity. Look at a guy like Stokely Carmichael. Stokely Carmichael, he was the chairman of SNCC. SNCC was the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Commission. This is back one of the civil rights groups back then.
Right.
Stokely Carmichael was of Trinidadian descent. I'm saying in this generation, a Stokely Carmichael would not have been able to be a part of the civil rights movement if you're going by what people on Twitter are saying and the little factions and subsets within the black community. That generation understood this here. Unity. So it's like, fight the power. We got to do it together. That's why they accomplished more with less resources. We got all the resources. We got the internet. We got everything. But in our generation, affirmative action was taken away. DI is under attack.
That's crazy.
We're accomplishing less than they did because we're too busy
fighting each other.
And so much self-hate. And that's what it comes down to. There's so much self-hate.
It's like they designed it so meticulously for it to be like that it takes so much for us to it would take a whole lot for us to get it together, but we could do it. But absolutely. The way they designed it, down even to the music that they allow on the radio, is brainwashing us to fight against each other because of the music. And you know, a lot of artists, because you know, I paint like a lot of artists, I do a lot of research on some of the music they perform, they don't want to sing that stuff. Even in the movies that we see, they don't want to sing about fighting and gang banging and sex and girls and stuff. That's not what they want to sing about. But the record labels that are owned by the masses, the power or whatever, makes them sing that stuff. And that's what brainwashes our people into doing things instead of coming together. It divides us because they are brainwashing us in every kind of way they can think of. Even the food. The food, the music, the television. Like, we have to be so selective and really work together.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, I'm with you 1,000%.
Man.
They got to start with us. They got to start with Mrs. Agoussoye. You know, they got to start with the Motherland exhibit. You know what I'm saying? It starts with that because art is a powerful thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It was one piece that I was working on that was called like 50 Shades, and it's on a black background. I don't think I have it in the studio. I think it might be in my other studio. I might have it in here though. But it's all black, and it's like literally it's more than 50 shades of brown, and each shade of brown does not have an ounce of black in the shade. But the background is black. But every shade that I made of brown does not have black in it. It's every other color but black. And I made the darkest of the darkest shade of brown skin, but there's no black in there. So even them calling us black or giving us that name, and like we refer to ourselves as black, it's just like, what's the history on that? I know you know.
It's I know you know. It's just it's a social construct. Racism was a social construct. That's what it was. So there really isn't such a thing as black or white.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I mean, black is not a complexion.
That's what I'm saying with the painting.
I mean? White is not a complexion. So it's a social construct. It was created. That was something that was created. And the goal was simple: oppression.
Yeah, that's always their goal.
That is it. Oppression, white supremacy, white greed. White greed. I say this all the time. You know, think about what happened in 1885 and what is known as the Berlin Conference of 1885. You had 14 European powers, including the United States of America, sat around the table and discussed how they were going to divvy up African nations and take ownership.
You see?
It was at that conference that a place like the Congo was given to King Leopold II of Belgium.
How was it given to him?
Yeah, he took ownership. He privately owned it. And he said that he was trying to do some humanitarian stuff, some charity work. And he took ownership. He was responsible
Ownership of what? Of Congo?
Of the entire country of the Congo. He used a Welsh American by the name of Henry Morton Stanley. Yeah, Henry Morton Stanley was pretty much the guy that he had on the ground to like monitor everything. King Leopold II never stepped foot in the Congo. He controlled everything from Belgium. He's responsible for what is known as one of the earliest acts against humanity. Because when they would go pick cotton and rubber, if they didn't make their daily quota, they'll cut off their fingers and their toes.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? So the goal was always oppression. Think about why Europeans left Europe and they went all the way to the continent. And this is where, you know, me being a church kid, you've been a church kid.
Right, yeah.
You know, with the conversation, I go, you know, there is a case to be made that the right things in the hands of the wrong people can be an issue. So they used, but the same people that brought Christianity to most parts of the continent, not all of it, because we know places like Ethiopia already had Christianity, and that was different from what was happening in the western part of the continent.
Right, yeah.
But the majority of the western part of the continent, the people that brought us Christianity were also responsible for colonizing us.
Because they was using the Bible.
You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. This is why when you watch movies like Things Fall Apart, or you read the book, the character of Concord, his issue was that. Like the same people that brought you this were also colonizing. And so it's hard to kind of reconcile the two. Like, who's to say that Christianity wasn't all part of the plot and the agenda?
That's what I be saying.
Think about the Catholic Church back in the day. They controlled everything.
It's all about control at the end of the day.
I was reading, with me being a radio, TV, and film major, I was reading a story about the Catholic Church. Back in the day, you couldn't kiss on TV for more than 3 seconds.
Why?
Because the Catholic Church controlled that. You couldn't do that. They were huge in this conversation. This is before they started having the low ratings and all of that stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was always about control. And this is why I say this all the time. I say, you are hugely misguided if you think that racism is an American thing.
Oh, yeah. Right. It's worldwide.
It was never that. And when you understand that the original 13 colonies were British colonies, and what did the British do? They colonized everybody in the face of the earth. So and I'm like, bro, it's not. This is why you look at it that way. They don't. I say whatever you want about white people, but they are smart.
That's the thing. They smart.
They're smart.
They gonna spend some time and figure out.
They are smart. They think about things on a global scale. We're the ones busy talking about, oh, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. I said, look at Microsoft. Isn't Bill Gates from Washington?
Who? Bill Gates?
Bill Gates. Is it Washington State, if I'm not mistaken?
Washington State?
I think he's from Washington State.
That's
probably.
Yeah.
You know?
Sounds about right.
But how come Microsoft is worldwide?
Because they was thinking on the global level.
Everything is always on a global scale. Tesla. Everything is always on a global scale.
And I wonder if it's because, like, it's just like so many different things. It's because of the white man's greediness. And because
white greed.
We are concerned about what we have, what's around us, what we can touch. We're not worried about taking over the world or being here and there. And I think that's our downfall too,
Yeah.
because we're humble.
We're conditioned to live in fear is another thing. I promise you, if something of value is discovered in Africa today,
the white man's
first
gonna come
person
get it.
to touch down, before you read the joint on the news, they're talking about they sold shares and stocks. You say, wait a minute, when did it go public?
Right.
You're reading about it while it's already been sold. You're like, wait, hold on, what?
Right. Immediately.
Because we're so conditioned to live in fear, and it's one of the things that still kills us to this day.
Yeah.
You know, this is why there are business models now where Black Americans, I know a guy who his business is, he helps Black Americans reconnect with the continent. People go over there, buy lands, buy property, and all of those things. In fact, even a whole wave of people moving over there. What's the name?
Yeah,
Khalees.
I remember.
Khalees moved over there.
Yeah,
Kenya. She's in Kenya right now. You know, and I just think it's something that we have to deal with. Yeah, you know, and it has to start with each and every one of us. I feel like being the change,
absolutely,
being the change that
we need,
that we want to see.
Well said.
So we're gonna come do a little peek.
Okay,
it's not done, guys. It's not done, but come with me. Come with me. Let's see what we've been working on. Oh man.
Yeah, this is what we've been working
on. Oh man.
The whole time.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, see that? Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm like, painting is actually kind of hard.
Yeah. So we're when the finished work is, you know, is put up, we'll take a picture of it and you know, we'll share it with the family. Closing words, Miss Agoussoye. What is something that you want to leave the people with as you think about the season of your life that you're in right now, with everything that's going on in the country, in the world, you know? What's something that God has just laid in your heart, in your spirit, that you want to share with people?
I want to share that, you know, even things that are broken or appear broken can still be beautiful, because there's a lot of brokenness in this world. And just trying to, you know, gather the pieces that are necessary to create something beautiful and that can bring you joy. And that's what I feel like the foundation of my art is kind of like based on that. Yeah. And that's the most important thing, to find your piece of happiness and joy. Yeah. Yeah. Dark times. Yeah.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your time. Thank you for welcoming us to your home and your beautiful space.
Thank you.
We know that this is only going to continue to grow and get bigger. We're looking forward to all the things that God has in store for you.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And we speak positive words, and everything that we've declared is definitely going to come to pass. We know that in due time, in due season. Thank you once again. And on that note, guys, we want to thank you for sticking around with us. We would see you on another episode of the High Vibrations Only podcast.